Hi students, this is Alex here. In this video, we are going to discuss about absolute maximum and absolute minimum values. Let's see what are the steps involved. As a step 1, you have to find the derivative of the given function. As a step 2, we have to find the critical values by equating f dash of x equal to 0. In step 3, take a small number line using the given closed interval along with f of x and plot all the critical values in between these two extremes a and b. Step 4. Find the function value for all these values. F of a, substitute a in f of x, then f of x1, f of x2, f of x3, and what are the critical values available, and at last f of b. From the above values, we have to choose which is maximum as absolute maximum and the minimum as the absolute minimum values. So these are the steps we are going to follow for every problem. Let's solve few problems. Question number 1. F of x is equal to x square in the closed interval minus 2 comma 1. As per the procedure, find f dash of x, which is 2x here, and we have to equate to 0 to get x. When 2x is 0, x is also 0. Take a small number line using the given closed interval minus 2 and 1. Plot the critical value in between. So the only critical value is x equal to 0. After plotting this, you have to find the function value for all these values. First f of minus 2. So minus 2 whole square. Here this value you have to substitute in the function. Function is x square. So when I substitute minus 2, it will become minus 2 whole square, which is 4. Then f of 0, that will gives 0. And f of 1, that will be 1 square and 1. So among these three values, the minimum is 0 and the maximum is 4. So we conclude that absolute minimum equal to 0 at x equal to 0 and absolute maximum equal to 4 at x equal to minus 2. Question number 2. We have f of x is equal to x power 2 by 3. So first step, f dash of x, which is 2 by 3 x power 2 by 3 minus 1. After simplification, x power 2 by 3 minus 1 will give minus 1 by 3, and we can carry this term to the denominator. It will become x power 1 by 3. As per the procedure of finding the critical values, whenever there is a numerator and denominator form, we have to separately equate to 0. But here this is 2, we cannot equate to 0. But the denominator term 3x power 1 by 3 equal to 0. So x will be 0. So finding the critical values, already we have a separate video. Here we equate to 0, but if it is in the numerator and denominator form, we separately equate to 0. After doing that, we got x value as 0 here. Then next step, we have to take a small number line using the given interval, closed interval minus 2 and 3. In between, we have to mark the critical value. Now, for all these three values, we have to find the function value. So f of minus 2, that will give x power 2 by 3. In place of x, let's substitute minus 2. So minus 2 whole power 2 by 3. This value is nothing but minus 2 whole square and whole power 1 by 3. This 2 by 3 I split into 2 into 1 by 3. So this will be 4 power 1 by 3. Next value is 0. F of 0, that gives 0 power 2 by 3 and it is 0. The another value is 3. So f of 3. From this 3 power 2 by 3, which can be rewritten as 3 square for that whole power 1 by 3. 3 square is 9. So 9 power 1 by 3. From this we can see the minimum value is 0 and the maximum value is 9 power 1 by 3. Comparing to 4 power 1 by 3, 9 power 1 by 3 is larger. So we can conclude absolute minimum equal to 0 at x equal to 0. Then in the same way, absolute maximum equal to 9 power 1 by 3 at x equal to 3. We can also further simplify this. This value will be 1.59 and this value is 2.08. Next problem, we have f of x equal to 3x power 4 minus 16x cube plus 18x square in the closed interval minus 1 comma 4. As a first step, we have to find f dash of x. This will give us 12x cube minus 48x square plus 36x, and we have to equate this to 0. Totally, we can take 12x common. This will give us x square, and second term will be 4x, and the last term will be plus 3 equal to 0. Now let's equate separately both the factors. So 12x equal to 0, comma x square minus 4x plus 3 equal to 0. From this we get x as 0. We have to factorize this. This is x minus 3 into x minus 1 equal to 0. By equating separately both the factors to 0, we get x equal to 0. By equating this to 0, we get 3. By equating this to 0, we get x as 1. So we got the critical values. Next step, we have to take a number line using the given closed interval minus 1 comma 4. So in both the extremes we have minus 1 and 4. In between we have 0, 1 and 3. So 0 here, 1 here and 3. Now for all these values we have to find the f of x value. Let's copy the f of x once again. Now let's take the first value, f of minus 1. That will become 3 into minus 1 whole power 4 minus 16 into minus 1 whole cube plus 18 into minus 1 whole square. This will give 3, and minus 1 whole cube is negative, so it will become plus 16. Then this will become plus 18. Totally 37. Then second value 0. Since all the terms having x, the value will be 0. Then we have to find f of 1. That will give the first term 3, second term minus 16, third term plus 18. Totally this is 5. Then we have to substitute next value 3, f of 3. So 3 into 3 power 4 minus 16 into 3 power 3, then plus 18 x square. So 18 3 square. Totally 3 power 4 into 3 is 243 minus second value 144 plus third value 162. Finally we get sorry, the second value is 432. So finally we get minus 27. In the same way, you have to find for the last value 4. So f of 4, that will be 3 4 power 4 minus 16 4 cube plus 18 4 square. So the first term 4 power 4 into 3, 768 minus 16 into 4 cube, that gives 1024. The last value 288. Finally 32. Among all these values, we have to see which is minimum. So first we got 37, then 0, then minus 27. So we find this minus 27 is the minimum among the other values, and the maximum is 37. So let's conclude. Absolute minimum equal to minus 27 at x equal to 3 and absolute maximum equal to 37 at x equal to minus 1. Question number 4. F of x is equal to x cube minus 3x square plus 1. F dash of x gives 3x square minus 6x. As per the procedure, you have to equate to 0. Now 3x is common, so x minus 2 equal to 0. Separately equating to 0, we get two critical values. One is x equal to 0 and other is 2. Then we have to take a small number line using the given closed interval minus 1 by 2 and 4. In between we have two critical values 0 and 2. For each value we have to find the function value. We have to substitute this value in the f of x. So first term is x cube. So minus 1 by 2 whole cube. Then we have minus 3x square. So minus half whole square. And the last term is plus 1. So plus 1. We get minus 1 by 8. And this will become plus 1 by 4. So minus 3 by 4 plus 1. After simplification, we get this as minus 0.125 and this is minus 0.75. The last value is plus 1. Finally, we have minus 0.125. In second value, f of 0. So first term is 0, second term is also 0, and third term is 1. So we get 1. And third value, we have to find f of 2. So 2 cube minus 3 into 2 square plus 1. After simplification, we get this is 8 and this is 4 into 3 minus 12, then plus 1. Finally, we get minus 3. Then from the number line, we see we have to calculate for 4, f of 4. So f of 4 gives us 4 cube minus 3 into 4 square plus 1. So this will be 64 minus 48 plus 1, that gives 17. So from these values we have to see the smallest. The smallest is minus 0.125 we have and minus 3. The smallest is minus 3 and the largest is 17. We can conclude absolute minimum equal to minus 3 at x equal to 2 and absolute maximum equal to 17 at x equal to 4. Next problem, question number 5. F of x is equal to x into e power minus x square by 8. As per the procedure, dash of x, since it is the product of two terms, we have to follow the product rule, which is u dash v plus u v dash. So u dash derivative is 1 and v we have to copy as it is, plus u we have to copy as it is, and derivative of v is e power minus x square by 8 into minus 2x by 8. We can take e power minus x square by 8 common. The first term is 1, and here we left with this x and minus 2x by 8. So totally it is minus 2x square by 8. Let's simplify this further. So we have e power minus x square by 8, and this is 1 minus x square by 4 equal to 0. This e power term cannot be 0, therefore the only factor equal to 0 is 1 minus x square by 4 equal to 0. From this we can find x square by 4 equal to 1. So x square equal to 4 and x is equal to plus or minus 2. And we have to plot this critical value in a number line. The critical values given in the question is minus 1 to 4. Here we can place only one critical value within the interval and the another value minus 2 lies before minus 1. So we cannot take that. Therefore, the critical value x is the only value 2. Now each value we have to substitute in the f of x. So first f of minus 1. So if we substitute, we get minus 1 into e power minus 1 whole square by 8. So this is minus 1 e power. After squaring this will become plus, but outside there is a minus, so minus 1 by 8. In the same way, f of 2, because the next critical value what we plotted is 2 here. In the number line we have minus 1 which we calculated, then we have 2, then we have 4. Substituting 2, we get 2 into e power minus 2 square by 8, which is 2 into e power, when I square will become 4. After cancelling we get minus 1 by 2. Then third value we have to substitute f of 4, which is 4 e power minus of 4 square by 8. So 4 e power minus 4 square 16, 16 by 8 is 2. After calculating this, its first value is minus 0.88 and the second value is 1.22 and the third value is 0.54. So from this, the minimum value is minus 0.88 and the maximum value is 1.22. So we can conclude absolute minimum equal to minus 0.88 at x equal to minus 1 and absolute maximum equal to 1.22 at x equal to 2. Question number 6. F of x is given as 2 cos x plus sin 2x. Now first step, f dash of x gives 2 into minus sin x plus cos 2x into 2, and we have to equate this to 0. Now rearranging this, we get minus 2 sin x plus 2 cos 2x can be written as 1 minus 2 sin square x equal to 0. Further rearranging, we get 2 minus 4 sin square x equal to 0. Let's rearrange the quadratic equation. Let's take all the terms to the other side. So 4 sin square x plus 2 sin x minus 2 equal to 0. We can divide every term by 2. So 2 sin square x plus sin x minus 1 equal to 0. Here the product is minus 2, sum is 1. Splitting the middle term, we can use 2 and minus 1. So the first term as it is, the second term can be written as 2 sin x minus sin x, and the last term as it is. So this sin x is written as sum of two terms. So here it is 2 sin x and minus sin x. Then from the first two term we can take 2 sin x common. After taking common, we left with sin x plus 1. Then from the last two terms, we can take minus common. So we get sin x plus 1 equal to 0. Now on the whole, we can take from these two terms sin x plus 1 common. We get one factor, and another factor is 2 sin x minus 1 equal to 0. Now taking each term to separately 0, we get sin x equal to minus 1 and sin x equal to 1 by 2. Now take the number line, but before that we can find the value of x from this. It will be better first to take the number line and mark the critical values. So the critical values, before marking the critical values, this closed interval is given as 0 to pi by 2. So let's mark 0 to pi by 2 here. Now it's a first quadrant, so here it is not possible to get the value of x which gives minus 1. So we can ignore this, and the only value sin x equal to half is nothing but pi by 6. After this, we have to find the function value for each values in the number line. So f of 0, we have to substitute in the f of x. F of x is 2 cos x plus sin 2x. So this will be 2 cos 0 plus sin 2x. X is 0. Now cos 0 is 1, so we left with 2, and sin 0 is 0. So totally this value is 2. Then f of pi by 6. 2 cos pi by 6 plus sin 2 pi by 6. So this will give 2 into root 3 by 2 plus, after cancelling this, we get sin pi by 3, which is root 3 by 2. By adding this, we get 3 root 3 by 2. Then the last value is pi by 2. F of pi by 2 will be 2 cos pi by 2 plus sin 2 into pi by 2. Cos pi by 2 is 0, and after cancelling the sin pi, which is also 0. So we get 3 values. From this, the minimum value is 2. By taking this value as 2.598, it is easy to compare. So the minimum value is 0 and maximum value is 2.598. So we can conclude absolute minimum equal to 0 at x is equal to pi by 2 and absolute maximum equal to 3 root 3 by 2 at x is equal to pi by 6. Next problem, f of x is x minus 2 sin x. F dash of x gives 1 minus 2 cos x. By equating this to 0, we get cos x equal to 1 by 2. Then let's take the number line. The number line is from 0 to 2 pi. The closed interval is given as 0 to 2 pi. The value of x which gives cos x is 1 by 2 is, the first value is pi by 3. So let's plot here pi by 3. Then cos is positive in 2 quadrants. One is the first and other is the last quadrant. So in first quadrant we take as it is, and the last quadrant we take 2 pi minus theta. So when I take 2 pi minus theta, the another value of x will be 2 pi minus pi by 3. By taking LCM and simplifying, 6 pi minus pi is 5 pi by 3. So we get two critical values, pi by 3 and 5 pi by 3, and we plot it in the number line. Now f of 0 we have to find, which is 0 minus 2 sin 0, totally 0. Then f of pi by 3, that gives pi by 3 minus 2 sin pi by 3. So this gives pi by 3 minus 2 into root 3 by 2. You can cancel this, and this value after calculating by placing pi as 3.14 we get minus 0.685. Then f of pi by 3, that gives pi by 3 minus 2 sin pi by 3. For calculation purpose, we replace this as 3.14 divided by 3 minus 2 into sin. This will be 2 pi minus pi by 3. 5 pi by 3 can be written as 2 pi minus pi by 3, and we are going to apply the basic formula. Whenever there is sin 2 pi minus theta, this will become sin theta, but it is in the fourth quadrant, so minus. Applying this, we get the first term after calculating 5.23, then minus 2 and minus sin pi by 3. Totally, this will become 5.23 plus 2 into sin pi by 3 is root 3 by 2. You can cancel these two. By adding 1.732 with 5.23, we get 6.96. Then the last value f of 2 pi, that gives 2 pi minus sin 2 pi. Sin 2 pi is 0, so we left with only 2 pi. 2 into 3.14, after multiplying with 2, we get 6.28. From this, you can see the maximum value is 6.96 and the minimum value is minus 6.85. So, we will conclude the absolute minimum equal to minus 6.85 at x is equal to pi by 3 and absolute maximum equal to 6.96 at x is equal to 5 pi by 3.